this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen, this is Kotobuki Jake, and we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
All right.
Alright, well, we got a lot of fun stuff this week, and I guess I'll let Jake start us off with his guesses. I got
my guess is
my
guess is all right. Well, as you all know, because you watched last week, because you're awesome, I ended with something big, this lovely new phone, which finally got up and running over the weekend, and I am enjoying it thoroughly. But when I went in to do my research, I came to the heartbreaking realization that for once, Septum was not BSing me about how sad Best Buy is. Because they are now, after him saying repeatedly that they're down to one aisle, they actually were down to one aisle.
Well,
I don't know what they're thinking.
They were going down to one aisle to the west, and they kind of moved. They were sadly moving east.
Yeah, jerks. Well, anyway, I still managed to find something in that tiny, pathetic, pitiful selection. I still managed to find an offer I couldn't refuse. And that is Volume 3 of Inuyasha, the Blu-ray, with our boy Sesshomaru on the front there. I had set a firm upper limit on what I would pay for each one of these volumes, and Best Buy matched it. So I am now 3 deep on this series. I hope I can finish it off quickly and free up that bit of space on my shelf. And one day I'll come back and actually see these and see just how much they cleaned them up for Blu-ray. Hopefully pretty well, I would imagine.
Yes, indeed. All right. And Mo had me interested because Full Moon's doing their 420 sale coming up, and
oh, of course they are.
You got to do that. Any case, I've got some fun stuff to lead off with, and a really fun thing to end us off on. And I'm going to start us off with a game. I've been trying to do 2 games a show until we go through them all. And one of the ones I picked up, and it was full price when I picked it up, but I wanted this in January, and that was Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury. I have heard nothing but praise for this when it was out on the Wii U, except for the fact that it was out on the Wii U. And I have had a lot of fun with this game. I've yet to play Bowser's Fury, but that's one I've seen it played. It's a fully 3D Mario, so it's going to be pretty fun. I look forward to it. I've been working my way through it. It is fun to go through kind of a traditional Mario game combined with a 3D Mario game. It is a kind of a 2.5D really, and it really is fun. It's enjoyable. And if I hadn't gotten the PlayStation 5, I probably would still be playing it right now. That's how fun it is.
All right. So, my next 2, I unfortunately have a theme here at the beginning that I hadn't really intended on, but the theme of impulse buys. I was at the Walmart and I found a couple of things that I just had to get. One of them, every now and then I'll pick something up that for some reason it just amuses me to get it from Walmart. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know why. I just look at it and I almost feel like this doesn't really go with Walmart, but on the other hand, it kind of does. But this is not one of the best films of 2020, but it was probably one of my favorite films of 2020. It was one that we determined that I think we both determined that we wanted to see it just on the basis of the title and a one-line description. And I have seen it, and I loved it. And they had it for $13, and I was like, I could do that. And that is the Mel Gibson classic Fat Man. This is good times. This is going to be a Christmas classic. And in fact, I will be submitting this in December. You can just bet.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this here is the other game purchase I got. This one was on sale and was a big one on sale, and it was one I was looking forward to. I played the original of this, and they did a remake. It was a game called Trials of Mana. They had a really good Black Friday sale on this game. And this one is fun. I need to play this remade version of it. I've played the original, which is fun. It was the sequel to Secret of Mana, which I have on the Secret of Mana collection, which has all of the original format games. I really want to replay those. I've only beaten Secret of Mana out of the 3. And then once I've done that, I'll probably come back and I'll check this out as well. So this is going to be all of my, it was going to be all of my pickups, which would mean that I'm going to finally do that video that's going to show my entire Switch collection. But I do have one that I was told Limited Run Games just shipped out today. So I'm going to have to wait until that arrives before I get to that. So we'll see.
Okay, and my apologies. I'm going to have to make a last-minute substitution because I was just thinking about the other one that I got with Fat Man. I was going to present with Fat Man, but if I remember your schedule, I believe that our next pickup episode will be airing on 420, and so that pickup needs to be presented on 420. So I will hold off on that one. And instead, I'm going to put up these twofer that have been sitting in this pile for some time. But they are finally going to get their due. And that is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2. I got both of these really cheap. I can't remember when or how or what. They've literally been behind me for months now. I saw them at the top of the pile and said, okay. Because again, that other item needs to come out next week. So now y'all can enjoy this. And I do need to revisit this series. I also own an unwatched copy of Catching Fire. So we were kind of talking before we started about a Jurassic Park marathon. I probably need to do a Hunger Games marathon, just sit and watch all 4 movies. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. I am looking forward to the Full Moon 420 sale. Which I am going to be checking that out because they are supposedly doing a new Evil Bong set, which I actually would like to see the whole of it, which is supposed to include Ouija's. And I am willing to upgrade for that. Not the regular set though, because the regular set is just
Right.
all the DVDs shoved in a box, and I'm not here to get a box
Yeah.
to surround them. And even then, I can't get rid of some of the Evil Bong stuff because I got some of those signed. So you're gonna have to give me
Yeah.
a space saver, and it's got to look good for me to do it. But I might finally get an
Right.
excuse to do a full moon order though, because I've been meaning to get in on that stuff. Darn it,
Yeah, right.
darn it, Mo. And by the way, you
Yeah.
need to go to Drunken Master Studios and check out his stuff because it's some fun.
Mhm.
He's got. This is probably the most that he has done into a feature. I think he's going to get through the whole thing, and it's already glorious. You need to check it out. All right.
Nice.
So speaking of stuff that's on the level of full moon,
Mhm.
I have here the front runner for best international feature, Another Round. Which I believe the two that are kind of like neck and neck are this one and Collective, if I remember correctly. But
I think you were right first. That's the front runner.
I think the Collective is going to win documentary feature, and this is going to win the international feature.
Yeah.
And it's got 2 nominations too. I think it got a director nomination too, if I remember correctly.
It did out of nowhere.
It's a good film. It is a solid film. I don't know whether I would consider it the best of the films out there because I do like the one that the Hong Kong submission better. But still, it is a pretty cool one. I mean, it's about a bunch of people who say to themselves, you know, we might function better if we're just a bit buzzed. But as any alcoholic will tell you, you can't just keep drinking every day and stay at just buzzed. And that is that. It's pretty cheap, but I've heard it's out on Blu-ray as well now. So
yeah, I wish I'd known about that.
But it's okay. This wasn't too bad. I'm glad to have it. It's a good one to have in the collection regardless. Win or lose, it's going to be good to have.
All right. And I've had to shuffle things around again because so I figured I might as well go ahead and present it now. I still need to see this. I intend to watch it in the next several days. I have heard generally excellent things, and I'm very, very curious about this, very much so. And I've seen a little bit of Mads Mikkelsen. I know he's a very solid actor. His previous collaboration with this director, The Hunt, is considered a classic that I need to see. I kind of wished I'd realized there was a Blu-ray option, but Best Buy was only offering DVD when I jumped on it. But whatever, got it. I will enjoy it.
And despite Best Buy kind of paring down their stores, their online offering is still pretty good. So
for the most part, yeah.
I think that most of these stores are just saying, hey, you want DVD or Blu-ray, you got to go online. But oddly enough, this is a fairly heavy anime week for me, which is good because last week I had none. So this week I have 4 that are going to be on this. So the first one is a sequel series to Bananya, which is just a ridiculously cute series that I'm hoping will one day encourage people to put that Nyanpire out.
I want the Empire.
And that is
I want it.
Bananya and the Curious Bunch. It's not very long. And I bought it as kind of just a cart topper because it was only like $14 at the time. It's not that much though. It's 39 minutes. But I should just pop this in and the other one in because they're not long. I mean, it's not a bunch of cats that live in bananas. You know, that's just like right there.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want it?
That's just like really cool. It's like super cute, like uber cute. So that's got to be there.
Yeah. All right. And now for something completely different. Okay. There is a theme for the remainder of mine, which is that speaking of sales, there was a recent Kino Lorber sale. And I believe they call it their March Madness, if I'm remembering correctly. And I had to jump on a few things, and this one is notable as far and away the oldest feature that I have on Blu-ray. And I do believe the second oldest feature in my collection. It's also the first film to use underwater photography. And that is their production, 1916 production of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea,
Oh, yes.
which I have not seen yet, but I need to. But definitely had to get that. And I feel like that should be in the collection just on principle. And I look forward to giving it a go one day.
So let's see here. Oh, they have a Gingerweed Man on sale, which is
Ah.
interesting. I'm going to definitely get that movie when it comes out. It's funny because I've never touched the stuff yet. I am obsessed with the Evil Bong movies. But hey, our state has legalized it, so in July,
I know.
it's like entirely legal. So, but speaking of stuff that you probably watch when you're stoned, the Beethoven Complete Collection, which was on would have been on the week before last. Yes, for kids. But we had issues. But this has all 8 Beethoven films. I had the VHS of that, and I still have it in the house where I watched it when I was still young enough to enjoy it. But I was getting to that point where it was just I was on the edge of when they, when there was that, because it was like early 90s when Beethoven came out.
Right.
So it was like right at the end of the time that I could really enjoy this film. And it was fun. The other films, however, came, and I was like in my mid-teens to late teens and early 20s at the end of this. So, beyond that. But still, it wasn't a bad one. I got on that buy three get one, or buy three get one free out of that sale. So, it was like $5. And it's kind of cool to have all of them. And the first one is a child classic and should be in a collection. So I think it's worth having.
All right. So that's a nice little segue into another film that came out about the same time. This is a 1990 release. And I remember seeing that. I remember wanting to see this when it came out. And I saw it probably not long after. And I don't think I've seen it since. So I'm very fuzzy on the details. But given the title, it might be another one that would have been good to save for 420. But this is Kino's recent release. Actually, this was also a recent release that we covered on the channel. A couple of these are, actually. This was one I know we covered on the channel, and I was very happy to have an opportunity sooner than later to pick up Spaced Invaders. This is, crazy little sci-fi comedy from the early 90s. I remember it being amusing, but again, it's been so long. I couldn't even say. I look forward to seeing it again eventually.
All right. So I have a fun one there. Which is a one that also covered a couple weeks back, but again, kind of got thrown out. But it's back in the mix again, and that is the 13th or so Case Closed movie. Much like Lupin, if I see something of this series come out, I try to get it. But there's a heck of a lot more Lupin that got released here than of this series, which is sad because this thing has a heck of a lot more episodes than Lupin. This thing is longer than One Piece and still going. This guy here, he was the ultimate detective, and he ended up being poisoned by these 2 gangsters, and the poison didn't kill him; it just turned him into a little kid. So now he's kind of taken on a new identity as a child. I mean, basically as this child detective, Conan, after Conan Doyle. And he ends up staying with this, basically with the daughter of with his former girlfriend, essentially, and her father, who is a really terrible detective, but ends up because of how good he is, and he ends up making it look like the father is the one solving all the crimes. So it's kind of funny that way. And of course, this one right here, she's an addition that you never got to see because they stopped the American show at 150 episodes. She came shortly after, where she's a scientist that helped develop some of the stuff and ended up taking the poison herself in order to escape being assassinated. And so she herself goes to assist them. So again, some interesting and fun stuff. It's a great series, great for one-offs. There are a couple series out there where you can just pop in almost any episode at any time and just be like, yep, this is fun. And this is one of those series. So I
Good
imagine
times.
the movie will be fun.
All right. So we may or may not have mentioned on air. I can't remember. But I have a rather interesting book that I picked up at the library really cheap, and it was pretty and in great condition, and it was $1. So I was like, all right. But it was a British book from about 15, 16-ish years ago, the 501 Best Movies. And I'm trying to get through the ones I haven't seen, just as, sort of a challenge, if you will. And Kino had a few of those on their sale, and I exercised some willpower and didn't buy all of them. But I got a couple. And this is another one from 1990. And it's a film by Peter Weir, who has done some quality films over the years. And it's a movie that got Weir an Oscar nod for original screenplay, and that's called Green Card. It's got Gerard Depardieu, Andy McDowell, and apparently Bebe Neuwirth is in it as well, which that right there is awesome. I've never seen this. I've heard good things. It was on their list of romances you needed to see. Given the pedigree, I'm certainly think that could be the case. Get to it eventually, but at least it's here, ready, whenever.
All right, so I've been trying to upgrade my collection on a couple of things. Sentai had a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 2 items I got on the sale that were kind of upgrades. And of course, I've offered up, and I'm selling the other versions of it that took up room. And this is one of those, because it finally came down enough in price, because they've usually been taking it to like $60 to $70. And that is the Clannad series, which has both Clannad and After Story. I have the wider like DVD releases.
Right.
And though I think they both have the English dub, I am kind of glad to shrink this down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people consider it an extremely good series. I think it is a very good series. I think it's a bit overrated to me when it comes to like, this is one of the most tear-jerking series of all times. And maybe the first time you watch it, but after you see the ending, to me, I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who get in there, but after you see the last episode, to me, it just, once I see it, it's like, nah, it's not really all that sad because I know what's going to happen after. So it's, no, you want sad, watch the freaking movie. That's sad as heck.
The movie is, it's depressing.
But still
good.
Still, for the most part, pretty well written, pretty well done.
Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous music. Gorgeous, Keel Annie on top of their game. Hmm.
and this definitely thins it out quite a bit.
Mm.
The other ones were definitely much thicker.
Yeah.
I'd say each season was 2 of these in size. So yeah,
It wouldn't save any space for me because I already have the Blu-ray editions. It would probably save like like an eighth of an
a
inch,
little
maybe
bit.
something. Yeah, but it would be nice. But anyway, and one thing I didn't mention, Kino is not entirely known for bonus features on their stuff. But look at all the freaking bonus features on Spaced Invaders. Look at that. That's
Oh,
crazy.
I kind of envy you the Space Invaders one. Next time I get a good Kino sale, I'm getting that because it's a fun
There
one.
are a few. This one has a couple. But another one, actually, this has a few bonus features. It's not bad at all. It's not as good. But another one that was on that list that I've seen the remake, but I've never seen the original, is the old Norman Jewison film, The Thomas Crown Affair, which was Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway. Again, I've seen the remake with Pierce Brosnan in the main. Who was his co-star in that? I can't remember. But anyway, this one, like I said, not a bad bonus features for that. But this is one I needed to see anyway. And, because it's on that list, it gives me another excuse. Now that I have it, it gives me even more of an excuse. But one day it will happen. But I am glad to finally have it. I did enjoy the remake, and I'd always heard that the original was better. So we'll find out.
Indeed. So one that I finally got on the sale, because again it fell under $10, was the fourth in the Crocodile Dundee movie series, the very excellent
Yes.
Mr. Dundee.
Yes.
I wanted to get this for a while, and under $10 I could afford it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be fun. I mean, you got Chevy Chase, John Cleese, Olivia Newton-John, Wayne Knight,
Right.
and of course you got Paul Hogan.
Right.
It's
Chevy Chase, I believe, is up for a Razzie for that, isn't he?
probably, but that's okay. I don't mind Razzie winners. It's just to me, this is. I mean, it can't be any worse than Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. So that'll be good. I would like to see all 4 of them on Blu-ray in like a set, but
Right.
we'll probably not get that. I mean, shoot, you can't even get the 3rd film anymore. It's out of print. It's sad.
I could see like Shout or maybe even Arrow doing something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
that would
really.
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, heck, I'd get the Arrow set if it had all of them. And speaking of franchises, next up, these are 2 that I have seen. It's been a while. It's been a while. I saw these probably when I was a young teen, because I feel like I saw them after Maverick. I feel like that was probably the thing. Like, I probably saw Maverick and I loved it from the get-go. And I think my dad probably was like, well, if you like that, you need to check this out, because I'm pretty sure he was the one that showed them to me. And these are older, much older Westerns from about the days of the Maverick series, starring James Garner. And the first one is Support Your Local Sheriff. And the second one is Support Your Local Gunfighter. And again, they both star Garner, but the first one also, you've got Joan Hackett, Walter Brennan, Harry Morgan, Bruce Stern, Gene Evans, Jack Elam. And then your next one, you've got Suzanne Plachette, Jack Elam, Harry Morgan, Mary Windsor, Henry Jones, Dub Taylor, Gene Evans, Chuck Connors. So kind of a who's who of Western stars and bit players and whatever. I remember these being a lot of fun. And again, we covered these on this channel. And when we learned about their release, I was like, I will be getting these. And indeed, I did. Garner, just him and Western comedies, they just go together. And I really look forward to seeing these again. These are from 1969, 1971. They're a little bit older, not super old, but a little bit. And both of them directed by Burt Kennedy. It'll be fun to revisit those, no doubt. And if we ever do a friggin' Western month again, they will be potentially submissions.
Interesting indeed.
Oh yeah, we
of
know
course-
you love your Westerns.
Oh yeah. Speaking of submissions, well, I've got here an interesting film that's going to be up as a submission for our Inside Movies Galore. I've been trying to get all of these because our next few months are, well, after April, May and June are going to be all about us peoples. And Dave and me both have kind of a double dip in it because we both have birthdays in June. So it kind of starts with us and ends with us. So one of Dave's submissions is this film called The Domestics with Kate Bosworth and Tyler Hoechlin?
Yeah.
I mean, tagline, the good people didn't survive. They did. About post-apocalyptic murderous gangs.
Nice.
So I know you're going to be looking forward to this, Jake, as we get to it.
Actually, I like that you said that, post-apocalyptic murderous gangs, and then I looked down at my phone and Mo had just said, "Sexy, I'll join that."
Exactly.
Good timing, Mo.
Exactly. Oh, there you go.
All right, my last one. Okay, so another one that was in that book that I have seen. I saw this way back in the day. I believe our alma mater actually had a copy. They might have had the Criterion edition in their library. This is one of the few films, I'd have to double check, but I don't think Criterion has it in print anymore. At the very least, for a long time, it was very difficult to get. But sometimes that happens even with their stuff. Sometimes they'll kind of seem to go by the wayside and then they're available. So I didn't check. But I saw that Kino had it, and they had a decent number of special features. So I figured, what the heck? I'll go ahead and get it because it needs to be in the collection. And maybe one day I'll upgrade. And that is one of the old Ealing Studios comedies from back in the day, starring Alec Guinness. This is probably the best known and best loved of the bunch. And it's a film called Kind Hearts and Coronets. And so basically, it says here right on the top, voted number 6 on the British Film Institute's list of the greatest British films of all time. So it's 1949. It's one of the films that put Guinness on the map as a star, really. And basically, you've got... Dennis Price is sublime as an embittered young commoner determined to avenge his mother's unjust disinheritance by ascending to the dukedom. Unfortunately, 8 relatives, all played by Guinness, must be eliminated before he can do so. Also, Joan Greenwood, Hugh Griffith, and whatever. So long before Eddie Murphy was doing the I'm going to play everyone in my movie, even before Peter Sellers did it, apparently Alec Guinness was one of the first. And again, I loved this when I saw it. It's been a while. It seems to be a theme with a bunch of these. But, but I look forward to seeing it again. And it does have a pretty decent bonus features. I mean, I'm sure the Criterion one had better, but that's not bad. I know it won't compare with your last one, but
Oh yeah, my last one just came in today, and it
Mhm.
was by chance because I ordered the series, the steelbook of the movie trilogy. And
Mhm.
of course, we have this Made in Abyss, um,
Mhm.
which is not the one there. This is the one I own already, which I've heard nothing but great things about. And I've got the nice steelbook at the movie trilogy, which should I think wrap up the Made in Abyss stuff. But I could unfortunately not get the special editions because they had long sold out and were going for ludicrous amounts online, like $400 or $500.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I guess Sentai was looking back in their storeroom and came upon a couple more sets of their premium for that, and I almost said Evil Bong, K-On! And
I didn't know there was an anime of Evil Bong. I'll have to get that.
so I did finally get the premium set.
Nice.
Yes. So that's a pretty awesome one right there. Oh, watch out.
Mhm.
So I am looking forward to digging into this. I'm going to open this
Yeah.
here, do a little unboxing for y'all, because
Nice.
if you don't have it now, well, I don't think it's going to come down to that $20 price point you're looking for, Jake.
I'd buy that for 20.
But
Hell, I'd buy that for 50.
so and I paid more than that for this. Sadly, I paid about probably retail, but that's still extremely cheap comparatively. So this nice little set has these little snap buttons that you take off like this,
Mhm.
and it opens up the set. Again, very well made
Mhm.
box here.
Nice.
And I mean, look at I'm going to take these out so you can take a look what the box art looks like if I stretch it out like this. Look at that. Look at how pretty that
Mhm.
is. And it's not
Pretty.
all big, so it's not going to take up a huge amount in the collection, which is nice compared to some of the other ones that have been out there. You've got your box, which you can never open these without fucking them up a little bit. But
Yeah.
actually, this one came open pretty easily, so I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Your goodies box, so to speak.
Your swag.
So you've got a cloth map that it comes with,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. You got these. You got this little standee here, which is really well made.
Mhm.
Really thick standee there. You got a little keychain. I mean, a little lanyard here.
Mhm.
It has your little item here on the end, a little whistle, which I'm going to have to put back in now. That's the thing. You can't tame the beast without having to fight it to get it back in here again. But it's all back in. Matter of fact, it's probably the easiest closing I've had on one of these box sets.
Right.
And the art style on this box goes very well with the art on the
Mhm.
outer box there. So you have this, of course, beautiful book that comes with it. Yes, meow.
Mhm.
Which has some amazing. It has like a breakdowns of the episodes, artwork, in general, some pretty
Mhm.
cool stuff. I'll put that in the bottom. Of course, you can't really go without getting the Blu-ray, and it's a different cover. I wanted to make sure because I'm not going to open up this one necessarily because I can resell this. But you got the little things here, but yes, it is a different cover, so you can even tell, like, oh, I know which one came from the premium. So that's pretty cool. Even the backs look very different there. So, but yeah, it has all 13 episodes, but it's the same thing, really. You're doing this for all the little swag on it. And so I'll put these all back in a nice little bow here. And put our little ties back on it. Got to snap those back on there. But yeah, sadly, these are out of print again. They went out of print, I think, same day. They went back out. But
Yeah,
really
almost.
But it was really cool that they were in print again for a short bit before they went away. We always talk about, like, what would you do with those ones that got away if you knew they were going to be out of print? Well, I guess it was one of those cases where, yeah, I know it's going to go back out of print. So it had to be. It just had to be. So with that being said, I guess that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular episode. Of course, if you did, click that like button, hit that subscribe, and share. But best of all, have a nice day.
Indeed.
All right, take care.